that doesn't mean it's valid. Before we start, I want to say this is not legal advice. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. Laws are different in every state and every situation is different, so always do your own research or speak with an attorney if needed. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about something very important that most people don't understand. Just because you signed a contract does not automatically mean the contract is valid, enforceable, or legal. A lot of people think once they sign something, that's it. They're stuck forever and there's nothing they can do. But in reality, there are many situations where contracts can be challenged, invalid, or even unenforceable depending on how they were created and what's inside of them. Fraud in car contracts. One situation where a contract may not be valid is fraud. Fraud is when someone lies, hides important information, or tricks you into signing something you would not have signed if you knew the truth. For example, if someone lies about the terms, if numbers were changed, if documents were switched, if important terms were hidden, and if signatures were obtained through deception. If fraud is involved, that can make a contract void or voidable depending on the situation. Misrepresentation. Another big issue in contracts is misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is when someone gives false information or misleading information that causes you to enter into the contract. This happens a lot with car sales, financing agreements, business deals, and service contracts. If someone tells you one thing, but the contract says something completely different, and you relied on what they told you, that can become a legal issue involving misrepresentation. Unconcionable terms. Another reason a contract may be challenged is something called unconcionable terms. This basically means the contract is extremely one-sided and unfair, where one party has all the power and the other party had no real choice or did not understand what they were agreeing to. So examples can include things like extremely high interest rates, hidden fees, terms buried deep in fine print, contracts written in a way a normal person cannot understand them, one-sided penalties, no way to cancel or escape the contract. Courts sometimes, sorry y'all, courts sometimes look at contracts and say this is so unfair and one-sided that it should not even be enforced, or it should never even been created or written in the first place. Auto loan traps. This is something I see a lot with auto loans and car financing. A lot of people sign auto loan contracts without understanding, one, the interest rate, the total cost of the loan, add-on products, extended warranties, gap insurance, payment packing, yo-yo financing, and spot delivery. Sometimes the numbers don't match what was promised. Sometimes products are added without proper consent, and sometimes the financing terms change after you leave the car. Auto contracts are one of the biggest areas where people sign contracts that may have serious legal issues inside of them. I see them numerous of times on a daily basis. There are so many people who become a victim of dealer fraud all around the states, all around the United States. It is happening daily, okay? Every day somebody is signing a fraudulent contract loan, okay? The important thing to understand is that a contract is not just valid because there is a signature. Contracts generally require things like a mutual agreement, lawful terms, proper disclosure, and no fraud or serious misrepresentation. So, excuse me, y'all. So the real question is not just did you sign? The real question is how was the contract actually created? What were you told? What does the contract actually say? And were the terms fair and legal? If you want to learn how to analyze contracts, identify contract issues, understand financing agreements, and spot potential violations or legal issues, I go much deeper into this inside my community and mentorship where we break down real contracts and real situations. Also, if you are somebody who you feel like you've been a victim of dealer fraud, but you don't know how to read your contract, you don't know how to analyze the fraud inside of them, I actually have a service where if you need help with breaking down the fraud in your car contract because you know it's in there and you feel like something is wrong, or you just want to see, I have a service. If you click the link in the description box below, well, I will actually audit your car contract. I will go step line by line and let you know what the violations are, what your private right of action is, meaning if let's just say if you're being sued by um a dealership right now, right? Or you faced a repossession. Knowing the fraud inside of your car contract is going to help you in these situations because now you know what it is that they were hiding, and now you create some type of leverage. Whereas if you don't know what's inside of your car contract and you don't know how to read the terms and conditions, you don't know what's fraud, you don't know what the violations are inside of your contract, then you have to go based off of whatever they say. Even if you don't have an attorney, you go in there with the opportunity to at least plead your case. So now if you're dealing with the lawsuit, that's a whole separate service that I offer as well. But if you are dealing with just car contract fraud and you want to get to the bottom of it, like I said, you do have that option. And like I said, even if you are dealing with if somebody is suing you or your car is in repossession, just to have some type of leverage, I will point out all of the fraud that is on the face of your car contract. So if you are interested in that, the link is in the description box. So just because you sign something at the end of the day does not automatically mean it's valid, enforceable, or fair. And a lot of people get taken advantage of because they think signing means they have no options. Always read your contracts, always keep copies of everything you sign, and always understand what you're agreeing to. So here's the thing. Also, outside of that, I want to say people all of the time say, I asked for it, they didn't give it to me. Ask for it in writing. I called and they didn't give it to me. Ask for these things in writing. Hey, can I get my car contract? If when the dealership is open, go and ask for it. Hey, could you print out a copy of it? Look it up in your state how long the dealerships there have to keep these things on file. If you just got that car 1 to 2 years ago, they have to keep record of it. A lot of the times people lose when it comes to car contract fraud, when it comes to lawsuits, when it comes to debt collectors, when it comes to creditors, when it comes to really any situation that's involving some type of misrepresentation or violations of the law. They don't really win at enforcing their rights because they don't ask questions. They they responded and said this, so I'm just going to take it for an answer. No, that's not how it works. In order for you to actually win and see results, you have to make sure that you're asking questions. Okay? So if this video helped you, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be making more videos about contracts, debt collectors, lawsuits, credit reports, and how to protect yourself financially and legally. And now that you know where to find me inside of the Golden University, I will see you guys inside.